This Notebook LM video explores how God's promise to Abraham that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars may hold a literal cosmic meaning. Historian Flavius Josephus connected the priestly breastplate's 12 stones to the zodiac, and historical claims from Sparta linked Abraham's lineage to the twin gods immortalized in the constellation Gemini.
Let's dive into one of the most famous promises in the entire Bible, a promise made to a man named Abraham. But what if this incredible promise wasn't just a nice metaphor? What if it was something far more literal, like a cosmic roadmap hidden in the night sky all along? It all kicks off right here, in the book of Genesis. After Abraham passes this huge test of his faith, God makes him this unbelievable promise that his descendants, his family line, would become as numerous as the stars you can see in the sky. I mean, it's a really powerful and beautiful image, right? And that question right there, that's the heart of the whole mystery we're exploring. Was as the stars of the heaven just a poetic way of saying a whole lot of people? Or could it be a clue, a hint that the story of Abraham's family was somehow literally written into the fabric of the cosmos? To even begin to unpack this, we've got to follow a kind of breadcrumb trail left in the story itself. And you know what? That trail starts with a very specific and very persistent number. The number 12. So the family tree is pretty simple. The promise is given to Abraham, it passes to his son Isaac. Then Isaac's son Jacob, who gets renamed Israel, he has 12 sons of his own. And these 12 sons go on to become the founding fathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. And right there, that's where the number 12 just gets cemented into this family's identity. It's not just a number, it becomes a structural key to their entire story. It's a number that's going to show up again and again and again. And this pattern just keeps popping up everywhere. Joseph, one of those 12 brothers, has this famous dream where he sees 11 stars, representing his brothers, of course, bowing down to his star. Then, fast forward a bit, in the laws given to Moses, the high priest's sacred breastplate is designed with 12 precious stones, and each stone is engraved with the name of one of the 12 tribes. So this number is clearly not random. It's deeply, deeply symbolic. Okay, so what's the deal with the number 12? What does it all really mean? Well, to get an answer, we have to jump way forward in time, to the 1st century AD, and check out the work of a historian who had a pretty radical idea. So our guide for this next part is a guy named Flavius Josephus. He was a Jewish historian, but he was writing for a Greco-Roman audience. So he made it his mission to explain the deeper meaning behind all these Jewish traditions and sacred items. And what he wrote about the high priest's garments is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. Here's Josephus's big idea. He says all these religious artifacts, the tabernacle, the priest clothes, the candlestick, they weren't just for ceremony. He argues that they were actually designed as a model, a representation of the entire universe. And then he just comes right out and says it. He makes the connection totally explicit. He says that those 12 stones on the breastplate, they represent the 12 signs of the zodiac. He's directly linking the 12 tribes of Israel to the 12 constellations of the heavens. And just so we're all on the same page, the zodiac is this ancient system, goes way back to Babylonia, that basically maps the path of the sun across the sky. It divides that path into 12 sections or signs. It's literally a map of the heavens. So what Josephus is suggesting here is that the 12 tribes of Israel were, in a way, Israel's map of the heavens. Okay, so the 12 tribes might map to the 12 zodiac signs. That's a huge leap. But Abraham's promise was about his family becoming like individual stars, not just constellations. To bridge that gap, we have to look at a really unexpected piece of evidence, from a place you would never, ever guess. This is the big question, isn't it? Josephus gets us from 12 tribes to 12 zodiac signs, which is cool. But the promise to Abraham was more specific. It was about stars. So how do we find an actual individual star that is also a descendant of Abraham? All right, get ready, because this is where the story takes a seriously wild turn. Around 250 BCE, the king of Sparta, yes, that's Sparta, King Arius I sends a letter to the Jewish high priest. And in it, he makes this absolutely incredible claim that the Spartans and the Jews are related, that they share a common ancestor in Abraham. What in the world could the legendary warriors of Sparta possibly have to do with any of this? Believe it or not, that strange letter from Sparta, it turns out to be the final key we need. So let's connect all the dots and see how this totally random piece of history might just solve our cosmic puzzle. So let's just lay it all out. On one side, you have the Spartans, who are on the record claiming to be descendants of Abraham. On the other side, you have the promise that Abraham's descendants would be like the stars. And here's the crucial piece. Who did the Spartans worship? Their most revered gods were the divine twins, Castor and Pollux. And guess what? The gods of these people, the very people who claimed to be Abraham's descendants, these twins, Castor and Pollux, are forever represented in the night sky. They are the two brightest stars in the zodiac constellation of Gemini, which literally means the twins. Okay, let's just walk through that logic one more time, because it's pretty stunning. Step 1. A group of people, the Spartans, identify themselves as a branch of Abraham's family. Step 2. We identify their main gods, the twins Castor and Pollux. Step 3. We find those exact twin gods immortalized in the stars as the constellation Gemini. The conclusion here is just, wow. Two specific stars in the sky can be identified as representing descendants of Abraham. And just like that, this interpretation brings us completely full circle. The promise that Abraham's descendants would be as the stars of the heaven might not have been just a metaphor at all. According to this line of reasoning, right there in the twin stars of Gemini, we find a startlingly literal fulfillment of that ancient cosmic promise. And this idea wasn't just some forgotten piece of trivia either. The symbolism echoed for centuries. Later, in the New Testament, when the Apostle Paul is making his journey to Rome, the book of Acts actually makes a point of telling us the name of his ship. Its sign was Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, the descendants of Abraham, immortalized as stars. It really leaves you with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? We look for history and ancient texts in archaeological digs. But maybe, just maybe, some of humanity's oldest stories and deepest promises are also written in a language of starlight, just waiting to be deciphered in the heavens right above us.